Hi there, everybody. Keith Schweigert and Jeff Reinhart here from LankSports.com, recapping the third week of the District 3 high school football playoffs. And Jeff, we're down to one Lancaster Lebanon League team left.
And that would be
the game you were at in the AAA semifinals.
Yes.
Cocalico rallying back late to knock off Conrad Weiser 17-16.
Yes, sir.
What can you tell us about the game?
Wow, unbelievable. One team left, and it's Cocalico. Raise your hand if you had the Eagles.
Not me.
No, I didn't. Even though I picked them to win this game. Okay, good game with Weiser. Once again, Cocalico's defense played great, held DJ Robinson in check. Oliveto went to that Weiser kid like 10 times. Every time he threw the pass, he went up top to Weiser. Cocalico took the lead 14-10 on a great drive to open the third quarter. Weiser comes back, scores late, misses the extra point, hits the upright. 16-14 late. They kick off. Kevin Antol with a great kick return, got him up near midfield. Cocalico turned the ball over on its first two drives on bad exchanges, and brought in a new quarterback. They brought Spencer Moser in, who hasn't played in a couple of weeks, brought him in cold, and he directed the offense the rest of the night. Coolly, calmly takes him down the field. They get in nice and close, a couple timeouts, back and forth. They get down to 8 seconds left. Wyatt Duncan comes in, 19-yarder, extra point basically. It's up, it's good. 17-16 Cocalico, they kick off, and Weiser kind of ran around and tried to do a flea flicker or two. Didn't happen. And that was it. Cocalico's moving on. They win 17-16. Austin Hartman did not get to 109 yards. He needed 109 to get to 5,000. He did not get that. I think he had 70. They held him in check. Cocalico goes back to the district final for the first time since 1997 when they lost to Manheim Central in the AAA. I think they have a couple AA titles back in the day with Coach Kaufman. But they'll go back and they will play Bishop McDevitt, which I hear is pretty good. Yeah,
that was the game that I was at, and the Crusaders just ran roughshod over Lampeter-Strasburg tonight in Lampeter. 40-10 the final score. Game was really over at halftime. Folks, McDevitt's really good.
Yeah.
I mean, Lampeter-Strasburg had a great run this year. They ran into a buzzsaw. I mean, McDevitt's head and shoulders above any team I've seen at the AAA level. Certainly, you could argue that they're better than a lot of Quad A teams that we see around here. And, of course, the Crusaders just did drop down from Quad A last year. Last year they were a Quad A team, lost in the district final to Cumberland Valley. They're going back there as a AAA team after just shellacking LS. It was Pioneers did keep it close for about 5 minutes in the first quarter, which sounds funny, but, they came out with a lot of emotion. They did allow McDevitt to march down the field on its first possession and score, but they got a good kickoff return. We're driving inside McDevitt's 10-yard line, had a 3rd and goal, lined up Nate Schenk in the shotgun. The snap went right through his feet. Oops. It was a low snap. He had to fall on it at the 14. After an offsides penalty, LS lineup kicked a field goal. That was their only points for a long time tonight, but they were in the game up until that bad snap. I don't know that it would have affected the outcome, but it would have been interesting to see what it would have done for them emotionally had they punched it in there and scored. But, it wasn't competitive for very long after that. Matt Johnson, the McDevitt quarterback, and Brian Lamel, the receiver, a sophomore, they were just insane. Johnson went 11 for 15 for 249 yards, 4 touchdowns, all of them to Lamel. He had 9 catches and 177 yards, I believe, and the 4 scores.
Wow.
He had all of those in the first half.
Ouch.
LS's secondary had no answer for him.
And they're good, too.
Lopez absolutely.
Have been great all season.
Yeah, they played very well. They played good defense all season long. They had no answers. Lamel just ran right through them. He's a fast kid. He's small but very quick. Yeah. Their number 2 receiver, Sean Seif, also he had about 75, 80 yards on 5 or 6 catches. Wow. He's a burner. And Jamil Poteet, the running back, he only had 1 touchdown tonight, 130 yards on 16 carries.
That's good average.
Ellis did a decent job of stopping him on a lot of his runs. He broke a 40-yarder on McDevitt's first possession and had a long, his touchdown run came from like 30 or 35 yards. Other than that, he dinked and dunked his way through a lot of it. I mean, 70 of his yards came on those 2 carries there. So, LS was flying all over the field when it came to the ground game, but they had no answers in that secondary.
Wow.
And again, McDevitt's, they're just a very good team.
I was afraid of this. I
Yeah,
really was.
and nobody wanted to see LS go out like that. Nice moment at the end of the game, late in the mercy rule time is running down. Shank hooks up with Christian Del Rossini, who's had a great career at LS. Long touchdown on 4th and 14. He goes 56 yards to the end zone to salvage a little bit of pride for the Pioneers, and it was a nice moment. And I will hand it to Lampeter-Strasburg's fans as well. They were into the game for the entire way through, even when the outcome was no longer in doubt. For the most part, the vast majority of them stuck around and really supported the team right up until the end. Hung out after the game and saw them off the field. So it was kind of a nice way to end, even if the game didn't turn out the way that they had hoped. Nobody wants to go out like that, but sometimes you just run into a buzzsaw and there's not a lot that you can say.
So Cocalico, McDevitt, Friday night, 7 o'clock, Hershey Park for the AAA final.
And LankSports.com will be at that game.
Oh, yes.
I think Jeff and I will probably double dip that one somehow. So we'll be there for it. Cocalico is going to be a major underdog in this.
And I think they know that. I think they know that. Talking to them tonight, I think they kind of know that. Chatted with Coach Gingrich, chatted with Wyatt Dungan, and chatted with Spencer Moser. So check for those podcasts on Monday, pretty please.
Yes, and Jeff and I will bring you all the previews and insight into the game beforehand. I can tell you, having seen McDevitt firsthand now, that they are a very good team, and Cocalico is just going to have to play an insane game to have any shot at this one. McDevitt is a heavy favorite here.
Give us the other scores tonight.
Okay, in the Quad A bracket, Cumberland Valley is going back to the title game to defend their championship. They knocked off arch rival Central Dauphin 28-7. That's their second win over CD this year. They'll be facing Red Lion in the final. Red Lion knocks off Daniel Boone, shuts them out 14-0. So that's your AAA final.
Quad A.
I'm sorry, your Quad A final. Double A, our friends at Wyomissing, who knocked off Lancaster Catholic and our biggest fans here at LankSports.com, they get knocked off. Trinity blanks Wyomissing, knocks off the Spartans 28-0. So great run for Wyomissing. They pulled the upset. Well, I would say the upset of the week until Boone knocked off Harrisburg the next day, but a big upset last week, knocking off Lancaster Catholic. They can't make it 3 in a row in the playoffs. They go down to the Shamrocks 28-0. And finally, in the Single A championship game, it was Reading Holy Name in the one of the few competitive games this week. Holy Name knocks off Millersburg 27-20. So Reading Holy Name is your Single A champion.
There you go.
So that's basically it for the district playoffs. We'll be back here next week.
One team to go, baby.
With our live blog from the championship game in AAA, and we'll recap that one and the other district finals as well next week. So thanks again for visiting LankSports.com. Have a great weekend, everybody. Good night.